Hey, I am back, and guess what? We just got a TV in the mail that showed up at my doorstop. Doorstop? Is it called doorstop? Showed up at my door. So we just teamed up with Samsung. They actually hooked us up with the new 4K SUHD TV, ultra high definition television, and it's actually my first time having a curved TV, and it's in 4K. As a lot of you already know, all the videos that we film and we make on our YouTube channel, on our main channel, we do those all in 4K. For us, it's all about showing the nicest quality picture possible. So when we found out that Samsung wanted to send us a brand new TV, one of their flagship TVs at that, I was super stoked because now we could actually experience our TVs the way we shot them, the way they are meant to be seen. So this is going to be my honest opinion of the TV. Yes, Samsung did sponsor this video, but this is my experience working with the TV from the filmmaker's perspective. So I think that's super important. Here we go. Shoot. Ta-da! So let's turn on the television with this fancy curved remote, because the TV's curved. So a couple of things that caught me a little bit off guard is the actual remote. When I plugged on the TV, the power button worked, but I couldn't change the channels or change the source at all. And I figured out that I had to actually open the back, and then I'd have to actually link it by holding a couple buttons. It wasn't too hard though to actually sync it once I found out, and I'm not a person that loves reading the instruction manual, so I missed that part of those details. Now, another cool thing that I personally love about this experience right here is there's a couple adapters or plugins on the back of the actual TV itself. However, you can plug in the main source right here, and then on the back I can hook in 4 HDMI ports. So if I want to hook up my computer, PlayStation, Xbox, Wii, whatever you want, you have that all right here, so you don't have to constantly go into the back of your television. So let's say, for example, you want to hook this to the actual wall, and then it's already set up to do that. There's a couple of screws. You will have to buy the wall adapter, and you can get that on Amazon. But this device right here, it allows it so if I hook this up to the wall, I don't have to take this off the wall every time I want to hook in an actual HDMI cable. It's all right here, so I can hook this straight there, just one cable, and then I can hook up 4 different HDMI cables and my television, if I was doing television as well, all right here, so I can control this from somewhere else. And I think that is super rad, actually. My first TV I ever bought was a Samsung TV. The second TV I bought was a Samsung TV. And now the new TV I have is a Samsung TV. For me, Samsung has been one of the leaders in the highest definition possible with the cleanest image. Just because it says it's a 4K television on the box doesn't mean the image is amazing. Not all 4K TVs are created equally. So that's why it's important to know as many of the details as possible when looking for a 4K or an Ultra HD television. Now, personally for me, when you're gonna spend a decent amount of money on a television, you're gonna wanna make the best decision possible. So that's why it's important to actually go to the stores and experience it yourself. Me personally, when I buy any 4K television, I actually buy it off of Amazon because usually that's where it's the cheapest, but I'll always make sure to go inside the stores such as Costco or Best Buy and experience the television myself. So I'll try and see the different sizes, whether I like the flat TV or the curved television, and then how they compare one another, because they're always, or most of the time, they're playing the same video back to back on both TVs, so you can actually compare and see what looks better and what doesn't. For me personally, with this television, this is one of the best 4K televisions out there, and it is Samsung Samsung's best 4K television. Is their flagship is what they call it, and that's what the S stands for. When in the SUHD is it's their highest end 4K television. So that's why this TV is important to me, because we spend so much time on creating the videos that you experience. We want people to watch that in the highest resolution possible. So that's why I'm personally suggesting this TV as an amazing TV to buy to experience that. With that being said, I will say that these 4K televisions, any 4K television out there, they are a little bit spendy. But if the image is at all important to you, it is worth investing that extra money to have the best possible experience. Now, a lot of times when we're creating these images, it's super important for us that the whites are white and the blacks are black. That's not a racist comment. But it's so important for us that the viewer experiences the contrast, that they can see the highlights and then they can see the shadows and the darkness. This TV is known for having a massive depth of range as far as the brightness and the darkness, especially within the contrast. So if I turn off all the lights right now, the blacks look amazing and the whites look amazing. Now, Samsung, they have what's called quantum dot color, which is basically accurate color reproduction. It's basically recreating the image that we originally captured with our cameras to make them look exactly how we filmed it. A lot of TVs can't do that. A lot of times they'll have to change and tweak with the colors. With the Samsung TV, the SUHD TV, they actually have it so it can handle those different colors and reproduce those colors as close to the real thing as possible. This quantum dot technology combined with 10-bit color panel creates the most vivid and lifelike colors. Also, it's HDR 1000, high contrast ratio. SUHD TV has a peak brightness of 1000 units, which is much higher than OLED TVs, which run at 540 units. This means the contrast ratio is high enough to see the brightest part and the darkest part of an image in as much detail as possible. Curved displays. Now, what's the pros and cons about a curved display? It's comfortable on your eyes as they require less optical movement, provides immersive viewing experience, wider viewing angle and screen, further immersion through SUHD TV's Auto Depth Enhancer. Auto Depth Enhancer divides the image into 3 parts: background, midground, and foreground, and controls the level of contrast to elevate the level of immersion. What I personally love about it is, in my opinion, it does get rid of the reflections, a lot of the reflection you'll see with windows, lights, and other things. So as you can see, there's hardly any reflections on the TV. And then look over here. So we're in my studio. I have the blanket set up for sound's sake, but I have these big 2 studio lights pointed straight at the camera. Most TVs, if you have it flat, you're gonna see a lot of reflections going on. There's hardly any reflections at all whatsoever. So for anyone watching videos, that's a huge deal. The other pro to having a curved television, in my opinion, is that it wraps, so it's right there and it wraps around your personal experience. You're never gonna be sitting this close to the television, I hope not anyways. So you're gonna be sitting further away, but it does give you an experience like you're surrounded right there. And people that are viewing the TV from different sides of the room, it also creates a better experience for them compared to a flat TV where they're not gonna be seeing the whole experience because of that. So there you have it. That is my review on the new flagship SUHD Samsung television. I personally do love it. Samsung did send me this television, but I was asked to do an honest review. So I can say whatever I want. And for me, my credibility is far more important than a free TV. So I just want you to know everything I've said in this video has been my honest opinion. From a filmmaker's perspective, I love this. For me personally, we put so much work into creating the best image possible. So I want to show that off on an amazing 4K television. And for me, this television is exactly what it does. And you can watch YouTube videos on this. You can play everything directly off your computer. Everything right now, I'm playing off my computer right now, so it has all the outlets to do that. The last thing I'm gonna say is super thanks to Samsung for hooking me up with this amazing television. Everything I have said on here is my honest opinion. I've had the television out for a couple days, so I've been able to explore and see what looks good, what doesn't look good, and I shared my honest opinion and experience with this television. I would 100% highly recommend it, especially for anyone that wants to experience 4K Ultra HD in the best possible way. I think this TV is an amazing way to show off your work if you're a filmmaker, or just to show off a good movie or anything in 4K, or anything that's not in 4K for that matter. So thanks so much once again for watching. Over and out.
Yeah, wham, bam, super tramp. And I tipping up my hat while I boost the fans. And I hover up top, can you feel the noise? All the girls scream now cause they want the boys. Yo, making all the clouds looking like a big joke. When I run so fast and I sing so low. And you never wanna mess with me, you're just testing me. I just set me free, so just stop. We cool, we hot, we fresh, and we know we all